Hello there, welcome to the channel again. Like always, it's your host Amy from Pen Venture and welcome to another fountain pen review. This time we are going to explore something from Leonardo Officina Italiana, which comes in celluloid and is not going to cost an arm and a leg. And normally I would be very hesitant to put celluloid and it's not going to cost an arm and a leg together in the same sentence. But in regards of this fountain pen that we're going to review in this video, it's true. And it's a creation from Leonardo Officina Italiana in Blue Abyss celluloid. It's called the Momento Magico Blue Abyss Limited Edition. And this fountain pen came recently in our inventory and I couldn't be more happy with the overall look of the fountain pen, how it feels, how nice it is, and I wanted to share this experience with you in this review. So if you are looking right now at adding something in celluloid, a fountain pen, this is one of the most accessible price points for a celluloid fountain pen, which is limited edition, which has a gold nib, piston filling mechanism. The fountain pen is right here on the table and I keep staring at it, and it is so not professional for me because, well, it's a review and we need to focus on the fountain pen and I need to get my act straight and to start this review. And let's get it going. In true Pen Venture style, I'm going to show you the customer experience, what you get when you order a Momento Magico Blue Abyss celluloid. Then I'm going to show you some of the details. I'm not going to go that far into the size comparison and all of those details because it's from the Momento Magico series and we reviewed on the channel this series of fountain pen for a number of times. I'm going to put a link right here. You can check that out and see yourself some of the details, dimensions, proportions, but we're going to move briefly. And I'm going to try to keep this video review quite short and show you what is actually very different from the other Momento Magico fountain pens from Leonardo Officina Italiana and this one right here. Of course, we are going to have a writing experience and in the end, I'm going to conclude everything in some personal opinions and we are going to end the video. The fountain pen comes into a clamshell box, which is very usual from Leonardo Officina Italiana. It comes with a bottle of ink, I think it's black, and this is the Momento Magico Blue Abyss Celluloid Limited Edition from Leonardo Officina Italiana. If you out there remember, this is the first celluloid that was used by Leonardo Officina Italiana together with the Mediterranean Blue. If I'm not mistaken, these two celluloids were introduced in the Momento Zero series. The first one, which numbered 100 fountain pens for each celluloid and 100 for the rosewood ebonite. That was just the beginning of something very big, what we call today Leonardo Officina Italiana. This fountain pen was launched together with another Momento Magico, this black and orange combination. And if you are fans of Delta fountain pens, you probably know that this is the DNA that's coming from Delta, because Delta had a lot of Dolce Vita models in this color scheme, and for these two DNA they come available with gold nibs and steel nibs, two different trim options, gold and rhodium. Today in this video we are exploring first of all this celluloid, this Blue Abyss celluloid. The overall shape of the fountain pen is pretty similar to anything that's Momento Magico, and we have pointy ends, the same clip. We have a different cap band configuration, a normal Momento Magico, so you can clearly see the differences in between those two cap bands. It's a screw cap. On the back of the cap right here we have the limited edition number, which is engraved 222 pieces Leonardo, and we don't have any single engraving on the body of the fountain pen, which I believe it's very nice that celluloid is kept pristine, and we have on the back of the cap something very minimalistic and sort of hidden away, small little detail. Moving further, we have this beautiful size 6 golden nib. We don't have any steel nibs for this limited edition fountain pen. Gold color, just like the entire trims of the fountain pen. Ebonite feeder, blue ebonite feeder, and this is something very nice, and it goes so well because it's going to tie the color of this ebonite with the color of the pen body, and everything is so much synergetic, considering also that this ebonite feeder blue color is polished by hand, gives it a shine, and also the textures of this ebonite is matching the shininess of the celluloid. This is very impressive. And another point that's very overlooked is the fact that when you polish ebonite, you actually close the pores. If you submerge this ebonite feeder in some ink, which is a different color, because of the fact that the pores are closed, it's going to resist staining with ink so much better. But if you are just like me, I believe you're going to use blue ink in this fountain pen, and it's going to go very well with the blue ebonite feeder. Let's have a look at the engraving on the nib. We have the two wings from the Leonardo logo, Leonardo Italy, and stamped we have 18 karat 750 and the nib size, which in this case it's a fine. These nibs are available in a couple of sizes: extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and a 1.1 millimeter stub. In this range, the fountain pen comes with a pricing of 580 euros, no VAT. And if you want the specialty nibs for this fountain pen, elastic extra fine and elastic fine, those make the fountain pen to cost 613 euros. Let's have a look at the section. Nothing changed like the usual Momento Magico series. We have the threads right here, and we have this small little ink window, which is a little bit smaller. And just for reference, I have here the old style, and we have a larger ink window, and this is a little bit more elegant. Overall, the distance in between all of the parts of the fountain pen is not changed. The fountain pen is pretty much the same size like any other Momento Magico, old or new. Moving further, we have this beautiful celluloid showing up, this two parts color, which is formed of lighter tones of blue and darker tones of blue, and we have some gray right there. And if you think that this celluloid is, let's say, very familiar, let me give you a hint. Have a look right here. We have the Montegrappa Extra Auto in butterfly celluloid, and this celluloid, it's the same like the one that Leonardo Officina Italiana is naming Blue Abyss. The only thing that's not the same is the pricing, because for the Extra Auto it does have silver and all of that, but it comes roughly around 1,000 euros, so significantly more. The barrel has the thickest point right here. We have this ring which marks the end of the barrel and the piston knob. We have pointy back finial. We have a piston filling mechanism, which, if you ask me, it's one of the most interesting piston filling mechanisms out there, because well, it's not that it's from Leonardo and I say this just to say it. It's because it's very versatile. It is very nicely built. It is both easy to operate and also to maintain, because you can have that Leonardo Officina Italiana tool and you can take this piston filling assembly out of the fountain pen and you can maintain the inside of this system clean and greased, and you can service it yourself. So that is very important in my opinion. Let me show you some of the dimensions of this fountain pen. Capped like so, measures 145 millimeters. Uncapped in writing position like so, it measures 132 millimeters. Posted, and be very careful when posting your celluloid fountain pens, because there is a slight danger when posting. You can scratch this material, so I would recommend not posting this fountain pen. 170 millimeters in between the end and the nib. Capped like so, weighing 24 grams, and uncapped like so, it is going to weigh 16 grams fully inked. The pricing matter. Well, let's discuss and let's see how much cheaper is this Momento Magico, if we can say like so, because it's not cheap. We have a net pricing of 580 euros, no VAT, for the extra fine to 1.1 stub for the nibs. And if we are dealing with elastic fine and elastic extra fine, we have a net pricing of 613, net price, no VAT. This is a fountain pen which I don't want to ink because it's going to be inked up by the future owner and I don't want to spoil that experience. And let's give it a try. I'm gonna just dip it in some ink. This is the ink that I normally use to adjust and test every single fountain pen at Pen Venture, and it's something classic, Leonardo Black. And I wouldn't put this my top favorite black ink because my top favorite black ink is Aurora Black. But this Leonardo is the second choice because it's something that's very, very much available right here. And I believe if you're a Leonardo fan, you have it at home. I'm sure of that. Anyway, let me get my notebook and let's give it a try. Let's see how this nib is performing. And we have the pen, and this is the Leonardo Momento Magico Blue Abyss, and this is the limited edition. We have the nib, Jovo, 14 karat gold, and this is a fine point. We have the ink, Leonardo Black, and we are on Tomoe River paper 52 GSM. Let's have a look at the wetness of this nibs, and this is just out of the box, so there is nothing tempered on this nib, nothing whatsoever, and I would put it to be a very, very wet ink flow. Not a fire hose wet, and in that scenario I would define it as being a nib that the actual flow makes the nib to feel like a medium in writing, but this is not the case. And I'm going to show you in the normal figure of 8s, and we have a quite fine point, although it's so wet, and this is what I would normally call an European fine. So we are in the guidelines. Flex, and I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure, and I wouldn't call this a flex nib, and probably if you are looking for something to flex, go for an elastic option because that will allow you some flex combined with the ebonite feeder. Very, very nice. But if you want to flex this nib, consider it to be a little bit stiff, and I wouldn't advise you to do so. Although the ink flow is going to open up the tines a little bit, and the ink flow will just hide the fact that you don't have a flex nib, and will increase the thickness of the line, making it a medium from a fine. So let's say we have some give right there, but it's quite a stiff nib. Anyway, let's go with the famous magical sentence to see if everything is working correctly. I don't know, maybe this is true, maybe this is not. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. This is a very, very nice writer, and for this fountain pen, I believe it's one of those nibs that really, really look nice, feel nice, and shine in normal writing. I wouldn't have a single problem with having one of those nibs on my fountain pens, and if you check my personal collection videos, you know that I have a quite significant amount of Leonardo Officina Italiana fountain pens, and all of them have this nib. And I love this nib, and I love the finer points. It is relative smooth, much more smoother than a Japanese nib, a little bit more wet, but I wouldn't consider it as being a fire hose wet nib. It has a little bit of give, but there is options if you want to have more flex, go for an elastic, and it's a consistent writer which comes adjusted from the factory at Leonardo Officina Italiana, and I've seen this with my own eyes. Every single nib is tested, and the fountain pens have the ebonite feeder heat set to every single nib, to every single fountain pen. So for me, that's a very, very confident fact to know and to share with you. And also, I don't mind checking each and every single fountain pen because I want to make sure that what you get is a nice riding experience, and we double check everything. Anyway, let me clean this section a little bit and the nib. We'll have to wash this after we finish the video. And let's discuss some of my personal opinions regarding this fountain pen. Every time when I get to this part of the video, I enjoy it a lot because it gives me freedom to express what I think about a certain fountain pen. And one of the biggest things about this fountain pen, the Blue Abyss, is the fact that it is accessible. I know it may sound weird to say that a fountain pen which is costing 600, almost 600 euros, 580, 600 and something for the elastic extra fine and fine nib is accessible. Yes, if you compare it with other celluloid fountain pens. I love this Blue Abyss celluloid, and I showed you in some of my videos, and this is my furore in Blue Abyss celluloid. I love this material, and I own a fountain pen in this material as well. The fact that it is so desirable celluloids in these days in regards of fountain pens makes it to be somewhat of a very hyped material, and this is going to come with a price. For this fountain pen, the pricing is not that high-end, but what you get right here, it's quite interesting. You get a fountain pen which is limited edition. Although it's a limited edition of 222 pieces, I wouldn't consider this a very large edition in regards of what Leonardo is capable these days. You get a gold nib, you get an ebonite feeder, you have a piston filling mechanism, you have an ink window, you have a beautiful fountain pen in a very nice shape. It's not too big, not too small. It is practical, pretty much the very best of Leonardo Officina Italiana at a reasonable price, in my opinion. And this is personal opinion. I consider this fountain pen to be an opening gate, a way of you out there that don't own a celluloid fountain pen to actually get in and have your celluloid fountain pen, because this is a material that's not produced anymore. It's not going to be very available in the future, and if you want something, start with this, and you wouldn't go wrong if you pick this one. If you have any other questions or suggestions, or if you have something that you want to point out regarding this fountain pen, use the comment section down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions and also follow your suggestions. If you're looking for either of these two fountain pens, the Blue Abyss celluloid or the DNA, I'm going to leave you the links down below. You can go there and order the fountain pen. We have a limited amount of this fountain pens in our inventory, and we are going to be very happy to help you if you need one of these fountain pens in your personal fountain pen collection. I appreciate your support, and if you want to continue to help us and to support us, just give this video a big thumbs up. This will help us a lot with the YouTube algorithm. If you're looking for a next riding instrument, just scroll down below. You'll find the details for our website, our social media accounts, phone number, email, anything and everything that you may need in order to get in contact with us. If you want to help us to grow the Penventure YouTube channel, and if you're not subscribed, you can do that right now. Just subscribe, click there, turn the notification bell on, and you will be notified whenever we have new content. If you want to continue down and watch our content, I'm going to leave you this video right here. You can click and enjoy. As always, I'm your host, Amy, and I look forward to seeing you next video. Take care, stay safe, bye-bye.